Hello everyone and welcome to today's online class for class 12.
Magnetic behavior of any substance is those kind of behavior that is shown by the substance when that substance is placed in a magnetic field. Now, based on the behavior of substance when it is in a magnetic field, their substances are characterized to three different categories. The first category is diamagnetic. If a substance possessed entirely paired electron, not a single unpaired electron is present in the electronic configuration of that element, in that case the substance will be repelled by the magnetic field that it is placed into. Therefore, this kind of material which possessed entirely completely filled electronic configuration, that is all the electrons are paired in the in these types of elements, in that case, in those types of elements are known as the diamagnetic element. The next one is the paramagnetic element or paramagnetism. If a substance possesses at least one unpaired electron, in that case the substance or the element will be attracted by the external magnetic field that is it is placed into. And that's why the substance which possess at least one unpaired electron are known as the paramagnetic. The last but not the least one is ferromagnetic or ferromagnetism. When a substance is strongly attracted by a magnetic field that is it is placed into, then that substance or element is known as ferromagnetic. Like iron, cobalt, nickel, they are extremely highly attracted, strongly attracted by magnetic field. That's why these kind of transition elements are known as ferromagnetic. When a charged particle moves, it creates a angular moment. It creates a magnetic field. Now, electrons is a charged particle and it is moving around its own axis, rotating around its own axis, and also it is rotating around the nucleus. As a result, the rotation around its own axis, that is the spin of its own spinning on its own axis, creates a spin magnetic moment, and when it is rotating around the nucleus, it creates orbital magnetic moment. So the total magnetic moment that is created that is created by an element, by an unpaired electron, by an electron, is the total amount of contribution that is coming from the magnetic moment due to the orbital rotation and the magnetic moment due to the spin of its own. That's why mu total is given by, with this equation in which it is saying that root over 4 capital S whole into S plus 1 plus capital L whole into L plus 1. Now this portion is known as is the contribution, is this portion represents the contribution of the magnetic moment due to its own due to the spin on its own axis, and this particular portion is the contribution coming for the orbital angular motion. Now, S is known as the total quantum number. Now, for 3D series elements, when the atom or element or the ion of the 3D series elements is surrounded by other atoms or other species ions, the electron density of the surrounding particles creates an electrical field. Surrounding the 3D transition element. Now this surrounding electric field quenched the contribution of the orbital angular momentum, quenched the contribution coming, magnetic moment contribution coming for the orbital motion. That's why for 3D series only, the contribution, that is L of coming from the orbital motion, becomes 0. As a result, the magnetic moment comes from only the spin. That's why mu spin only moment remained for the 3D series elements only, and it becomes, the generalized equation becomes mu spin only moment equals to root over 4 S whole into S plus 1, where this S is nothing but the total spin quantum number. Now for 3D series, the spin only quantum number, that is mu spin only, is represented by root over s whole into s plus 1, where s is the total spin quantum number and is given by s whole into small n whole into small n. S, capital S equals to small s equals to n, where small s is the spin of unpaired electrons. Which is half, and n is the spin quantum number. This small s is the spin quantum number of unpaired electron that is given by half. N is the total number of unpaired electron present in this species. By putting this value, the spin only value will become mu equals to root over, there is a 4 capital S whole into capital S plus 1. 4, in the place of capital S you can write small n into n, which is nothing but half into n plus 1. This will give 2n whole into n plus 2 by 2. 2 will cancel each other, and the remaining equation will be mu spin only equals to root over n whole into n plus 2. This is the magnetic moment. This expression represents the magnetic moment of 3D series elements only, for only the 3D series element, that is mu equals to root over whole into n plus root over n into n whole into n plus 2. By applying this equation, we can find out the magnetic moment values for the 3D series elements, for only 3D series elements. Now we are going to find out the magnetic moment for few of the 3D series elements. We are going to start with scandium. The electronic configuration of scandium is 3d1 4s2. So number of unpaired electron for scandium is 1. Therefore mu for scandium is going to be root over n 1 whole into 1 plus 1, that is root over of 2. This gives the value as 1 plus 2, therefore root over 3. This gives the value as 1.73 Bohr magnetron. Bohr magnetron is the unit for magnetic moment. Now let's calculate the magnetic moment for titanium. Titanium has 4s2 electronic configuration. Therefore, n equals to 3, number of unpaired electron is 3. Therefore, mu for titanium is going to be 3 whole into 3 plus 2, that will be 3 multiplied 5 root 15. This will have a value nearer to 3.87 Bohr magneton. When an element is irradiated, it emits some amount of electromagnetic radiation. When we perceive that electromagnetic radiation, we see different color if the electromagnetic radiation emitted falls or lie under the visible range of the spectrum. Now, when a transition element is surrounded by some kind of ligands or formed a complex. The d orbitals are split into higher energy and lower energy orbitals. So there are some d orbitals that remains in the lower energy state, and some d orbital gets excited and in higher energy state. If the lower energy d orbital possesses an unpaired electron, during the irradiation, this electron absorbs the energy. This electron, unpaired electron, absorbs the energy and jumped onto the next higher d orbital. As both of these are higher and lower energy orbitals are of the d orbital type, that's why the energy difference between these two higher energy level and lower energy level are extremely small. As a result, for this unpaired electron to get excited, to move to transfer into the higher energy state, to jump into the higher energy state, the energy that it had absorbed is an extremely small amount. That's why most of the time when d block elements absorbs energy and the unpaired electrons jump from one d orbital to the higher d orbital, the energy absorbed by them lies into the visible range. So when this electron moves back to the lower energy state, it releases energy. Which lies in the visible range, and we see color. Now, which energy will be released depends on two factors. The energy release depends on two factors. The first factor is what are the ligands or atoms surrounding and the second one is the metal, type of the metal itself. That is, whether the metal possesses an unpaired electron in its valence shell. Like zinc possesses the entire 3d electron is fully filled. All the electrons are paired. So we do need two things, that is d and d transition. This type of electronic transition is known as d-d transition. The third one that is needed is the d-d transition. d-d transition, and to do this d-d transition we need unpaired electron, at least one unpaired electron in the d orbital of the transition element. Depending on this d-d transition, which produces the color of the transition element, and that's why most of the d block element shows color when they form a compound, colored compound. They show colored compound. There are a few questions that arises. The first question is that Zinc 2 plus and titanium 4 plus, zinc 2 plus complex and titanium 2 plus complexes are colorless. Explain. Now, zinc 2 plus, the electronic configuration for this one is Zn3d10 4s2. So there is no unpaired electron. For DD transition at the first place. The same situation can be observed for titanium 4 plus. The electronic configuration for titanium 4 plus is scandium titanium. So titanium have the electronic configuration is 3d2 4s2. Titanium 4 plus we need to produce by removing all the 4 electron from 3d and 4s together. Therefore the electronic configuration becomes 3d0 4s0. All the inner orbitals are already fully filled. That's why by removing all the valence 4 electron, the entire titanium 4 plus compounds are now fully filled with all the paired electron. As a result, no unpaired electron is present in this one also for DD transition. As no d electron is present at the first place, therefore no transition or transformation of DD transition possible. As a result, no color can be shown by this kind of transition metal cation when they form a complex with these oxidation states. The next question is saying that now we have taken nickel 2 plus complex. In all these three complex, nickel is have class 2 oxidation state. Now class 2 oxidation state of nickel have the electronic configuration scandium, platinum, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel. It's the 8th element. Therefore, the electronic configuration should be 3d8 4s2. Class 2 state oxidation state of nickel. The electronic configuration for this one is going to be by removing 2 4s electrons 3d8. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 unpaired d electron are present. So the nickel in class 2 oxidation state is going to show colored complexes, which is evident from this. There are 3 different complexes of nickel 2 plus is given in here. All of them are colored, but all of their colors are different from one another because the surrounding species that the nickel 2 plus is surrounded by are different depending on their strength. the color that is produced by the nickel duplex is different, because the energy that is required by the unpaired d electron for the dd transition is now different because of the different environment in which the nickel is present.